Hi, so my name is Aseem Kpoor. I'm the founder and chief executive of ARK People Solution. We are very delighted to be one of the first people-oriented organization that is actually exhibiting at FHS. So as a part of ARK People Solutions, what we focus on is everything related to people. We are into people strategy development. We are into creating learning experiences that creates talent of the future. We are hugely into creating brand experience. And what I mean by that is that if I tell my clients that if you have a brand, but your guests can't feel it, and your teams don't live it, then it's a logo. Because for me, brands have to be a living, breathing embodiment of what they're all about, right? So we kind of come in that sweet spot where once a brand is created, we help them create a brand culture, a service culture, try and define what are some of those emotional triggers from a guest that will build brand affinity, and then what are the behaviors that you need to see in the team members. And then we build a whole ecosystem around how we find those people, how we train them, how we develop them, and everything else. So that's kind of stuff that we do.
That sounds great. Bring it to life for me. Give me some real world
So,
experiences.
so we have kind of worked with 4 or 5 brands here in Dubai and in Saudi Arabia as well, because these are the 2 main markets that we kind of work in. So we actually worked with the Museum of the Future at the time of the opening of Museum of Future, and we kind of really helped them. So they had, it's a beautiful brand by itself, right? I mean, it's an iconic thing, but how to create that iconic building into an experience is what we work them. So that was one of our projects. We're working with Rove Hotels here, who kind of, we are their learning partners, so they've outsourced their entire learning with us, so we kind of work that. And within Saudi Arabia, we work with Neom and a few other PIF companies where we're doing similar work as well.
Give me some examples of that kind of really, that finding that sort of synergy, that experiential piece. What have you kind of uncovered in that work?
So I think what the biggest thing I've uncovered, because I come from the people space, from the HR space and everything, and I think one of the biggest challenges organizations end up having is that when they put together a framework, which is their people framework, they end up recruiting for something else, they end up developing for something else, and they end up assessing for something else, and there is no connect between these two. But I think the real magic that we have seen happen in live experience with some of our clients is that when you align those things, so I have my brand and I have the brand purpose and the culture, and I hire people for that, and eventually I'm developing them for that with those skill sets, and then I assess them at the end as well. You can see how that whole people cycle links, and you can then gradually kind of move the bar upwards. It's when organizations and human resources within organizations ends up working in silos that's where the kind of clash comes in, right? So have a more cohesive approach to how you manage people.
Sure. Yeah. And give me some examples of that in practice.
I think with all of our clients, we've kind of been able to do that, right? We've been able to kind of showcase the success of it. And with one of the clients that we're working with in Saudi Arabia, I won't be able to name, but with them, what we've kind of focused initially is to really be able to define that culture and the cultural traits and the behaviors. And then we put in a whole selection process using AI and assessments as well, and a kind of a slightly differentiated interview approach, where we first identify for that culture fit. Skills come secondary, because I think skills you can find. A lot of people have great skills, but I always say it's not about talent, it's about the right talent. So everybody has talent, but it's about me being able to find who's the best fit for my organization. And then from that, the way we onboard them is a full immersion into the culture before we start talking about saying, hey, now you've been on board for 2 weeks, what are you going to deliver, right? You haven't delivered anything yet, so that's not the approach, right? Which unfortunately many organizations tend to take, right? They start questioning the deliverable of a new hire within 1 month of their joining. And so, the way we onboard them, it's an immersion journey that we take them through, and then how we put the development plan in place to just help them be set up for success is kind of stuff that we've done, yeah.
Fantastic. And how has FHS been for you?
I think FHS has provided us with a really, really great platform. I love it that it's not humongously huge as well, right? I think you're able to have meaningful interactions. And like I said, the fact that we're the first people-related company which is exhibiting, it's kind of got us a lot of attention as well. We've had some really meaningful interactions. But I think over the years, FHS has any which ways positioned itself as a very strong platform of repute, which attracts the right kind of caliber and the right people and everything. So overall, I think it's been brilliant for us to be here.
Aseem, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming across.